Talk about leaders progressing into exceptional leaders. And today I want to talk about the importance of emotional intelligence and having awareness around emotional intelligence. The reason why this is really important to make sure that it's a part of your leadership style, which is really understanding what's going on with your people. People like to pretend that there isn't emotions in the workplace, but if you have humans in the workplace, then you have emotions in the workplace. Now you could learn how to navigate it so it works in your favor, because when we are dealing with emotions, that's where creativity and passion and excitement and all this great stuff, which is really engaging for culture and to keep people wanting to be in your workplace, then you want to make sure that you're tapping into the emotions in the early stages and just navigating them. Because when we don't navigate some of the emotions that could be in our workplace, that's where office politics comes from. That's where office drama comes from, even where, toxic behaviors. And the reason why this is really important, because the more you're not addressing that, the more it's wasting time. The amount of time people have to spend sometimes when people are really upset, especially being in HR, really upset, having conversations, how someone might have felt dismissed, or they were ignored, or they felt judged, or someone was talking behind their back, or all that. It's a waste of time. Waste of time. So if you are a leader that is ahead of the game and understands how to read a situation before it turns into something, or promote those kind of conversations, checking in with people, making sure that, they're okay, that will go a long way. Because if not, it can spiral and turn into something that is not going to serve your business very well. So some key areas that, would be beneficial if you're working on your emotional intelligence would be of communication and negotiations. So when people are communicating and you can assess how they are feeling, then you can really get an idea of what the need is, how to resolve it. You're communicating differently because there's other cues. When you are reading emotional intelligence, there's other cues. It is not only the words that are coming out of your mouth. There is physical, body language cues, seeing if you're in tune. And if you are really good in this realm with the emotional intelligence piece, you can actually address issues directly in live time before they turn into something that is not going to serve your business. So there's that one. The second one is greater self-awareness for yourself and those that are around you. If people are aware of how they are showing up, how they are feeling in situations, they can learn how to manage those situations. Sometimes we have individuals that may not even realize that they're coming across abrasive, or they might have an explosive personality, or, they've been triggered in some way. If you can get the leaders, or even as a leader, if you can start to model that behavior where you are managing how you feel, learning how to pause instead of jumping in and causing more issues because you're reacting to the situation, you're not responding. And as a leader, the expectation would be that you would know how to respond. You would know how to pause, but we're human. Sometimes our egos get in the way and we can't really see things clearly. But when we learn to have better self-awareness and manage how we are feeling, we can address situations much differently in the business. And then you become a person that is approachable and people will tell you about what's going on, which is a good thing. So you can hit things or address things before they transpire into something that is not serving you well or your business well. The other one is there's better collaboration. There's better collaboration within teams, and we will honestly be able to work together differently because we're aware of how everybody's showing up. There's some companies out there that when they see that someone is off, they're not going to continue engaging in a meeting. They actually take the time to listen, or hey, maybe we'll pick this up tomorrow, and then there's a private conversation to provide support. From a business perspective, you might be like, that's crazy. No, I would say it is extremely bright, because that individual is not fully engaged in your business when they are in that space. And when that happens, they can actually impact others in the group. So when you want people to be working together in a collaborative space, you want them to be fully engaged. You want them to be in that place where they can contribute. So when organizations or leaders have that awareness, they can actually help assess the best situation, create the space so people can engage with each other differently. When you have an idea of how you were feeling about situations, you can manage your stress better. Stress management. What happens sometimes is that when we get into that grind, and I would argue it shouldn't be grind, you should be in flow zone, which we can do another conversation about that. But when you are in that place and you just keep layering on more and more and more, you are not in touch with yourself to gauge how you are handling your stress. And when your stress is off, it's not good. It's like a snowball. We've talked about this before, but you can actually put yourself in a position for burnout. So to be more emotionally aware, more connected to yourself as a leader, more connected to your team as a leader, you can easily assess those stress points and potentially, give different options, or, assist with a better flow and understand what's causing them stress, which is a benefit to everyone, because then you can create the work where it's much more productive. You may be missing it, not even knowing. Then the last one I would say is that people that are emotionally in tune and have emotional intelligence, I did mention it before, are much more passionate. They love what they do. They're passionate, they're excited, they will drive your business, they will give creativity, they will be innovative, they are bringing their best self to work. But they are also managing their best self. It is something that they are doing. It's not only a work perspective, it's how that personal growth piece, they know what lights them up and they know what doesn't. And they try to work the work so it can be in places that they get really excited about what they're doing. And you know what? That is a huge benefit to the business. Huge benefit to them because they're fully engaged, but a huge benefit to the business because they're being productive. So all the examples that I used is really productive time and working towards that instead of getting caught up in drama, office politics. Who got this? I didn't get that. That's not fair. This person's got that. Those are people that are in a situation that they're not fully engaged in your business because they're playing victim sometimes. But if you can get to that stuff before, because you're emotionally in tune as a leader, you can address that stuff and put it aside and get everyone refocused on doing the work that they need to do. So those are a couple of tips. If this resonates with you, give a follow, because I share tips and tricks to get you back to your best self. Please subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.